If you're not thinking, you're reacting. Too often, we're caught up in a busy trap without really thinking about what matters most. The things that are really going to move your business or your career forward. All we do is we react to the day, chasing the whirlwind, chasing issues, chasing what we think is important. But what if I told you there's a way to exceed this cycle? Being busy doesn't mean you're being productive. Just because you're doing stuff doesn't mean you're doing stuff that matters. In the book Radical Candor, Kim Scott shared an insightful anecdote about a CEO who took time to think every week and came up with a groundbreaking idea that changed the business forever. The lesson: you have to schedule time every week to think about things that matter the most. It's crazy, right? You have to think. So, step one is to schedule a 90-minute weekly time block on your calendar. And I know I don't have time. I can't do this. I get it. But this is going to help you escape that trap. This is a non negotiable 90-minute block for deep thinking. Right now, I'm going to show you how to execute your weekly think time. This is what it's going to look like. Step two, now that you have your time block scheduled, you're going to go in a core topic. For example, is the core challenge we could be using is high client churn. That's what we're going to be really thinking about in this section. The next step is you're going to turn that core topic, that core challenge, whatever it might be, into a core challenge statement. So how can we reduce client churn? It just gets you to think about the problem in a different way instead of it just being a broad topic. Next is you're going to break that down, this core challenge statement, into clarity questions. This is what it looks like. And if you want just some great examples of clarity questions, get the book Invisible Solutions. He gives you just some really great ideas on how to position your core challenge statement. But for example, is if we want to reduce abstraction, as we could, how can we reduce client churn that will have the greatest impact? If we want to increase abstraction is what does reducing client churn look like? And then what you're going to do is you're going to turn each one of these questions that you come up with, 5, into how can we? And that is going to get you 5 different ways to think about it. And it's going to give you 5 different questions to answer in your think time session. So once you have the clarity questions, is then you're going to move on to what David Finkel calls a sweet spot analysis. And this is really your core brainstorm session. Is you're going to really focus on the time. You're really going to think about these core questions and you're going to break them down into each idea. So spend about 20, maybe 30 minutes on just the idea generation section of this time block. And you're going to answer those questions you came up with. How can we? And you're really going to come up with as many ideas, even if they're absolutely insane, write them down. You want at least 10. I hope you at least get 10, but the more the merrier, because in our next session, and our next step is we're really going to start to identify the ones that matter the most. So once you're done with that, is you're going to go back down through your list and you're going to write LH next to each idea that is low hanging. Those ideas are quick, they're easy, don't require a lot of resources. Those are all low hanging. Next, you're going to go back down through the list again, and you're going to write HR, which means home run. These are things you execute idea, absolutely going to have huge impact on whatever you're solving for. It could take a lot of time, could take a lot of money. So if you throw time and money to it, you can solve it, but likely you might not have those resources. So third is you're going to go back through the list again. I know. And you're going to look for the ideas that have an LH and a home run. There were things that are easy to execute and that will absolutely just solve the problem at hand. And those are the ones you're going to start with. So don't, say, I need to invest $10 million. No, start with the things that are going to make things improve client churn quick, easy. It could be regular client visits. It could be just calls or emails, status. There's so many ideas that you'd have to go through a think time session to push through that for your unique situation. sometimes it doesn't require a lot of time or money. And those are the things you really want to think. So next is you're going to add them into your project management software. It's right down here. You can't see it, but you're going to add them maybe to Notion, Asana, maybe make a small project out. And you might have to delegate these action items to somebody else. You might have to have clarity meetings on how others are execute, how you're going to execute it. But the thing is you want to schedule the task immediately. Don't wait. If it's low hanging and a home run, it's easy to execute. To improve client churn, it's a no-brainer. Just get it done. Start working on it. So identify the 3 H and HRs that you can maybe get done within the next 2 weeks. You keep doing that. By the end of a month is you're going to be improving client churn. And then at the end is you might say, I am going to focus on this HR. That does require a little bit more, because if we do that, we're going to 6x our results when it comes to client churn. So it could lead to bigger projects. And that's really what you want to focus on. If you liked these steps, I have it in written form. The link is in the description below. And after your first think time, please drop a comment. Let me know. Share the video, whatever you need to do. I really think that we all can schedule more think times on our calendar. See you in the next video.